they know that he's hurting, but also that like he's kind of pouting a little bit.
Right.
And so there were like, I think by the end of it, there's 100-something dudes that are taking shifts, like sleeping in tents in this guy's front yard. Like the cops come and the cops are like, hey, is everything okay? Like the neighbor called and they're like, yeah, this is one of our church leaders who's in there and he's pouting. And we just want him to know that like, we love him. We support him. We're here for him. And so the cop went and knocked on the door and he answered the door and he was like, I just want you to know what's going on out here. Like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, they can be in my yard. Like, all right. And it was the first time that they had seen him in days, right? Because he's like not, he's going in the back door or, out the back door driving to work and then, whatever. And so he like comes out and waves and there's all these dudes in his front yard that are like cheering. They're like, yeah, there he is.
He's
there. But, it takes a while to build that type of community. But his book, Killing Jesus, is so great because it outlines in very plain terms from a high level, like everything that happened throughout the course of the life of Jesus and how it got to the place that it did.
And you mentioned some things on one of the podcasts that I had never even heard. So
yeah,
it was very,
that one's fascinating.
It's on my list.
Yeah. And then Extreme Ownership is probably the third.
Yeah.
Right?
I've given that one away a lot.
Yeah. But those are books that I keep copies of with the intent to give them away.
Yeah. And
when you have a knowledge of like what somebody's reading, but also if you're intentional whenever you hand them the book, because you're right, like if I see you as a potential leader and I'm like, hey, just read this book, then and this will make you a better leader. This will read this book and you'll have a better understanding of like the life of Jesus or what it means to be a spiritual leader. You may read it, you may not. Most of the time it just gets thrown on the shelf, right?
Right.
But if you're intentional about it and like, hey, this is a book that had a tremendous impact on me, I normally like will write a little inscription or something in there and something encouraging, give it to him, and then give the follow-up call. Yeah. Right? Like, hey, have you gotten a chance to check it out? Yeah.
Let's talk. Yeah. And then talk about it some.
Right, yeah, because it does the same thing. It sparks those kinds of conversations.